Hey everybody, Dr. Marion Wallace dropping in on you. I'm not going to be long. First, I want to remind you, if you haven't signed up to sponsor a space in my 25th book project, which I'm writing right now, the Black Wealth Project, you can sponsor space to pay tribute to someone who has made a difference in your life. You can sponsor the space to pay tribute to yourself, something you've accomplished that you're extremely proud of, and anything in between. If you haven't heard about the details, click the link, go check it out, read it. But I would love to have you be a sponsor in this book. Okay, moving on real quickly. I'm not going to be long at all today, but just piggybacking on a video I just shared that my wife Marion made about black men and trauma and the need for black men to heal, and the need to create space for black men to heal, and the importance of that. And for those who may be asking, you know, where she, has gained the ability or right or platform to speak on mental health and healing for black men. Obviously, everyone knows that my wife is a survivor of childhood domestic abuse, childhood sexual abuse. She was molested at 5. She was also raped as a teenager. So she can speak on that, but she was also one of 3 siblings, the only girl, where the other 3 boys experienced some pretty traumatic stuff that, she saw with her own eyes, and she watches, and now she's watching that play out in the lives of those young men. Well, depending on what you want to gauge as young, but definitely play out in the lives of her brothers. And she's watched it in so many other ways with people that she's known on an extremely close level. And she knows about putting in the work. She also has been married to me for some time, and she knows, based off my level of expertise and what I've done and what I've been through myself and the work that I do with my clients, a lot about this. So she's not speaking from a rudimentary perspective. She's speaking from a great deal of life experience, also a person who has a background in healing, who has worked and helped many people achieve healing. And her thing is, she just simply sees that there's such a great need for it. What I want to do, in piggybacking off of it, is talk about a change in paradigms in the way that we see trauma as it pertains to men. We've got to stop painting false narratives and creating expectations that are unrealistic and damaging. Telling young boys that real men don't cry. Now, don't get me wrong. We're not saying that real men are highly effective and functional when they're over emotional. That's not what we're saying. We're saying that there are times when you hurt enough that the easiest way to release it is through the shedding of tears, or you wouldn't have tear ducts, and they wouldn't be affected by emotion. So the thing is, one of the biggest problems that I have seen when it comes to black men seeking a space to heal, seeking professional help, seeking a place where they can participate in cathartic exercises, whether it be to talk about what they've been through, whether it be to cry, whether it just to be it be somebody who can listen to them vent, whatever it is. The reason that they don't seek it, the reason that they don't talk about it, is because of the judgment. The reason that they don't talk about it is because of the negative connotation. There needs to be a clear understanding that being the victim of trauma and the fallout from that doesn't mean you're crazy. Even struggling with certain mental illnesses doesn't mean you're crazy. It means that there are issues that need to be dealt with in a specific way, and that when you find the right people, they can help you deal with it so that you lead a functional life. And in many instances, this has no need for the introduction of pharmaceutical grade drugs. I am not one for medicating, but there are times where things are extreme and immediate, and the only immediate route of getting someone in a situation where they're not harmful to themselves or others may be to sedate. But other than that, I believe that there's a natural, healthy way. Those are the things that I practice. Those are the things that I study. But what bothers me now is simply this: there's no real space. I have been fortunate enough to meet a few black men in a few different spaces that are working to create the space that's necessary for black men to grow, to heal, to connect, to bond, to deal with the challenges of being a black man. See, we love to talk about the negative things. We love to talk about what black men don't do right, what black men do wrong, and all of that, but we don't talk about the loads that black men carry. We don't want to acknowledge the target that black men have on their back. We don't want to acknowledge that black men are impacted by so many negative environments as children. We don't want to admit that just as much as our young girls have been affected by childhood sexual abuse, so have our young men. And yet they are less likely to talk about it because, again, of the negative connotation and the frustration and the confusion. And there's so much out there that needs to be done. I just want to really encourage, first of all, my brothers to seek help. Find people you can talk to. Find people you can trust to talk to, because everybody doesn't deserve to be privy to those most intimate details that you are dealing with, struggling with, or your history. So be careful with that, but it's definitely necessary that you do that. Also, I want to encourage everyone that we keep in mind that there needs to be a safe space for black men to not be okay. Every time someone asks you, "Hey dog, how you doing?" and it's always, "I'm good, I'm great, I'm awesome." I mean, that's me most of the time. And it's legitimate, it's real, it's not some form of pretense or hiding. I just have a way of finding a reason to be happy, a reason to be joyful, and it isn't always predicated upon any particular situation or circumstance. I mean, sometimes all hell's breaking loose, but I have made up in my mind that there's so much to be grateful for that I'm going to focus on the things that I have to be grateful for more than I am on the things that are not going right. And that's the way I live my life. But at the same time, there are some times that I'm literally going through it, and I've got people I can call that I can depend on that are solid, and I utilize that. Now, I do this for a living, but it doesn't make me immune to life. It doesn't make me immune to heartache, to pain, to suffering, to loss. And so there are times I need to rest in the safety of a space where I can just be vulnerable for a minute. Now, I can't live there because I've got too many people depending on me. But there's a time I need to take the armor off. If you know what I mean. There's a time I need to take the armor off and know somebody's gotten me while I'm resting from the load of what I carry daily. And I think that that's something that we have got to collectively secure, is that space where black men can take off their armor, treat their wounds, rest from their labor, rest from their struggle, and not feel threatened. I really want us to understand that, because we keep pushing. I don't care how well you're built. If it's constant strain and stress and it's not properly balanced, you will break. Just keep that in mind. On that note, I'm gonna get ready to get out of here. Don't forget, if you haven't gotten your sponsorship yet, go ahead and click that link and do that. On this note, I'm out of here. You guys have an unbelievable day.